Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 45 minutes after the hour.
Welcome back from our second break. This is Paraversal Universe on WBHM Digital Broadcasting, also heard on WCET-FM, Amelia Pisano Productions, and the Rift Radio Network family. We're your hosts, Kevin and Jennifer Malek. Before we get back to the show, we want to tell you all that we are on Twitter as the NWPS and MeWe as Paraversal Universe. Our like and group pages on Facebook are under various headings as well. Having said that, check out our Society's like page on Facebook, the Northern Wisconsin Paranormal Society Limited, as well as Jennifer's like page, Jennifer Malek, Psychic Demonologist. Leave a like if you like what you see, and we always appreciate it. And there are some Facebook group pages on Facebook we want you to check out. The Ultimate Conspiracies group page is one, and the Lake Monstrosities group page is another, for aquatic mysteries and wonders. Feel free to join them both. We would love to see you there. Each network mentioned has a group page or a group and like page on Facebook as well, and I'm sure on Twitter and the other platforms. So go check them out as well. This segment is brought to you by the book Trail of the Sasquatch, A Shaman's Journey, by cryptozoologist and Iroquois shaman Don Young, who is also a member of the NWPS. And with us today, check out his group pages Kindred Force and Indigenous Americas. And check out Gene Broida's new book, Unknown Objects, Top 10 UFO or U.S. UFO Cases. And Don has got a brand new book. Don, you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, it's a sequel to Trail of the Sasquatch, A Shaman's Journey. It's called A Shaman's True Tales and Herbal Remedies. It continues from Trail of the Sasquatch with not as in-depth of a storyline, but instead it bases on my life with more stories of everything that has happened to me along the way. And I have included as an extra in the book well over 100 Native American that I practice remedies, herbal remedies that people can use. There's cures and remedies in the back of the book for practically everything. And it can be found on Amazon.com.
There you go. And Gene, would you like to take a minute?
I absolutely would, and thanks. And that book sounds fascinating. I love a book with recipes, basically how to, based on personal experience. So well done there. Everybody should go out, rush out over to Amazon and get our books. So today I'm bringing to the Paralogian Report table an article I wrote a while back on alien-human hybrids.
Ooh.
Yes. And this was, I put this on my website at lightwork111.com. I write for the dailyconspiracy.com under the nom de plume Lightworker111. I know it gets a little confusing. So this was reprinted on my website by me with kind permission of the dailyconspiracy.com. And I published that just last month, republished that last month. So here we go. Alien-human hybrids. One remarkable feature of UFO abduction stories is repeated so often that some investigators began to consider not only what was happening, but why extraterrestrial beings would want to capture humans for scientific study in the first place. Time and again, from the very first widely publicized account in the U.S., that of Betty and Barney Hill in 1965, they claimed their abduction occurred in 1961. From then to the present day, the vast majority of these body-snatching ETs want male sperm and female ova. Realizing this was a recurring phenomenon, plus the fact that there isn't much else you can do with sperm and ova, UFO abduction researchers wondered if humans were part of an alien genetic project to create hybridized versions of part them and part us. It didn't take long for abductees to come forward with tearful reports that screamed across the nation's supermarket tabloids as, quote, "Ohio woman claims my baby is an alien," unquote. Although it is easy to discount this type of individual eyewitness testimony, the sheer volume of known cases is staggering, numbering into the thousands or more worldwide. Could all of these people be telling and retelling such similar experiences, even to the detriment of their personal and professional lives? One Welsh experiencer turned researcher, Hilary Porter, believes that she has been an abductee and, quote, alien egg donor, unquote, all her life. She said in an interview on May 7th, 2014, with the British Mirror newspaper and with reporter Warren Manger, quote, "They tend to take females more for their eggs and genetic material for breeding purposes," unquote. Some abductees become very emotional when they talk about seeing their hybrid children. Often there are several of various ages on board the ET craft. Sometimes there is no recognition until eye contact is made. Then, usually, a feeling of intense love overtakes the human parent, with great longing as the alien handler leads the child or children away. So to what end these alien-human hybrids? As many abductees say, this off-world genetic engineering program is for the good of humankind, as warned of ultimate alien take over. So as many say the one as say the other. Bridget Nielsen of Sedona, Arizona, believes she is mother to 10 hybrid children under an alien bioengineering project to create offspring with the best traits of both species. In all of her YouTube videos, she is bubbly and evidently thrilled to carry on her family lineage as a human breeder. Australian Judy Carroll has stepped forward as one of many people who say she herself is the product of alien-human cross-fertilization. She too believes that she has been abducted multiple times since childhood. In a UK Sunday Express article published April 18, 2017 by John Austin, she too tells us not to worry, that these friendly visitors simply want to help us become less primitive. And in my observation, does that mean more docile? Some abductees report that as children, they were taken to play with hybrid children in order to model human behavior and socialize them. There are reports from and drawings by children after hypnotic regression that show their close encounters of the fourth kind. They describe walking through bedroom walls, being levitated and floated into a UFO, lying on an examination table surrounded by ET doctors. Some saw human bodies suspended in liquid-filled tanks.
Ooh.
Are these people slated for lifetimes full of abduction experiences in a hidden breeding program? Not only hidden, but forbidden, since only crackpots and nut jobs believe in UFOs and ETs, according to the mainstream. Who really wants to risk reputation and career by admitting to serving the scientific interests of an off-world species? Other truth seekers take a dim view of animal and human abductions and alien procedures. Well-known and highly regarded reporter Linda Moulton Howe broke the story on cattle mutilations in 1989 with her first book, An Alien Harvest, and tours the UFO event circuit to this day. She received a birthday card years ago which read simply, "Ebens lie." Ebens are extraterrestrial beings. Was this a deep state insider tip or merely a prank? An advanced alien species interested in genetic engineering, be it for self-preservation, scientific investigation, hostile takeover, or merely sport, might not feel obliged to tell their test subjects the truth about their involuntary participation. Whether for our own good or not, it is unsettling to realize that, if true, these reports suggest that we, the people, are powerless to stop them, whoever and whatever they are. So I was wondering if any of you folks know anyone personally or have heard personal accounts of people who really believe or report that they have been directly involved in this hybrid program.
Not directly. The one person I did know who claimed to is not with us anymore. Who knew something about it. However, I'll say this: if you look at the odds, the mathematical odds of life out there, the odds are so great that there is life of some kind, and we're not talking small numbers either. Anyways, so just as we capture lesser animals and do experiments on them and whatnot, you would figure that there would be sentient beings who maybe have a higher consciousness than we do, that if them beings are malevolent, that they would do the same for their own purposes and not for our benefit necessarily.
What did the person who was deceased have to say about it?
Just that it was real and that stuff's going on, and that it's not on, the whole thing, the whole deep state thing. Not they're underground. They're even at Mars, or they're dark side of the moon. Deep state, in league with different beings. That kind of thing, But
Anybody else heard of this at all?
Well, certainly, and you have too, because we met Nancy Tremaine when we were at the Ozark Mountain UFO conference last year.
That's right.
Who has given birth to a reptilian child. And as far as the catch and release, or the catch and testing, not releasing, there's no reason to think that they would be genetically modifying, because we, as a species, have genetically modified all of the animals, white rats, cattle, other things that we do our testing on. Pardon me. So why would we not be genetically modified to suit their testing needs? And it was interesting that you brought up Linda, because when we were at AlienCon, I believe it was last year, we were walking through, and this most beautiful child, who happened to be in a wheelchair, so she was below the average person's view coming through there, because I believe she was injured. And Linda took one look at her and said, "Oh my God, you are the most beautiful hybrid I've ever met." And it was quite obvious. If you were looking for someone who had the oval shape with the eyes and the pointed chin, that this woman, her face fit the kind